Hey everybody, just recording a quick fountain pen overview, my collection, and by collection I mean like the 4 pens that I have. But yeah, just to get into it, I think I'm going to start with 2 ink swatches that I got today. So I filmed a stationery haul video in which I showed my new Sailor pen. I messed it up in the stationery haul video, obviously, because I kind of film on the fly. But I believe this is the Pro Gear collection. I don't know what you would say. Maybe the Pro Gear fountain pen type. I don't know. I don't know what the proper name is. But basically, this is the Pro Gear Slim. The collection is Japanese Sweets. This is the Nerikiri color. As you can see, a very beautiful, I hesitate to say pink, but it is sort of like a deep pink, and you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it, the lighting, it's a little sparkly, it's very cute. Anyways, so I got this today as a gift for my husband. It came with this Shikiori ink, Sailor brand. So I'm going to do a quick swatch. I'm not sure if I want to ink it up with this one or this one that my sister got me from Jet Pens. So Itezora. I don't know if this is the color. I don't know. I should have looked into it before I filmed this video, but whatever. Okay. So I'm going to use my Take a Note planner to do the swatches. This is where I've been doing my swatches. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I want to say I'm a fountain pen person, but I don't have an intense knowledge of it, so I'm very new to all this swatching and things. But yeah, I've realized that the Take a Note planner paper quality is the best when it comes to when it comes to writing with my fountain pens. So this is just what I prefer. And I have a simple page in here for it. So yeah, so this is what I have so far. I only have this kind of color 4 swatches so far, despite having many ink samples that I purchased. Only because, like I said, I only have 4 fountain pens. In order to do this, I have to flush out my converter, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm going to... I feel like I should have timed this better, but you know what? It's okay. Or prepped better for this. I'm not a professional, guys. Okay, so just to kind of introduce you to my collection so far, I have the Coffee Monsters Co. Forgotten Iced Coffee, which I did have in my Esterbrook fountain pen at first. I have the Robert Oster Australian Opal Pink in my Twisby Eco. I have the Aurora Black Ink in my Vanishing Point. And then I switched out the Forgotten Iced Coffee with this Robert Oster Silent Night ink, which is beautiful, by the way. So I'm going to swatch this new one here just because I'm curious to see the color. I see many methods of swatching. I don't know if this is the correct one, so I'm so sorry if you have to watch this. I've seen people use Q-tips, and I don't know. I'm scared. Because I don't want to piss anybody off. Or maybe I could use it from the cap. I feel like maybe this is... Oh my god. Maybe this is the best bet. Wow. This is like a very deep color. That's very pretty. That is very pretty. So this is this color, Shikiori. And then I'm going to swatch this one. I should have completely left it out of the packaging earlier. And I think this, what is this? Oh, shows you how to fill it up. But okay. So I'm going to, honestly, this reminds me of the Robert Oster Silent Night. Maybe the color is different. So just going to... From what I've seen online in terms of reviews, it comes more of a gray / blue color. Ooh, this is very pretty. So it has hints of a teal. It's hard to capture on camera, but that's very pretty. Oh my goodness. I'm conflicted now. I'm just like, what color should I mean, when you have like a plum body like this, I feel like it would make sense to have this color ink, but I have this in my TWSBI Eco already, so I feel like maybe this is the way to go. Alright, I'm doing it. I'm gonna use the Itezora ink. Maybe when I'm feeling in a silly, goofy mood, I'll change out my ink to this one, but just for this time, I'm going to use this Itezora ink, because that's honestly very pretty. Okay. Why did I throw out that thing? Normally, I use gloves for this, just because I hate getting ink stains on my pen, or my, like, hands. My hand is dry enough as it is. I have, like, my eczema is pretty mild compared to a lot of people, but it's pretty annoying still. I mean, oh god, I have ink on my hands already. Okay. Like I said, this is my first Sailor pen, so I don't know how it is in terms of the converter. I struggle a lot with the Pilot vanishing point, as you will soon see. Oh, you know what? What am I doing? I'm stupid. Okay, it's supposed to be like this. I'm like, why did I take the converter out? And I also, I don't know if anybody else has this problem. I always forget. Like, I always forget which way I'm supposed to turn it. Okay, so I see that. Let me see if I can fix this. Maybe I need to submerge it a little more. Okay, so I'm not going to do the method of moving it perpendicular, like upside down, so that I can get the air out. I'm just going to leave this as is. It's not going to bother me, but as you can see, there's like a little pocket of like air there that you can probably fix with some maneuvering, but I'm not going to do that just for the sake of this video. I'm not trying to get ink all over my hands. Okay. I always get so frazzled on camera. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Okay. How many times can I say okay? Alright. So this would be... I'm like, maybe I should double check the name of this. I mean, it's Sailor brand, so I'm just gonna write Itezora. I'm assuming that's the name of it. I don't pay attention to names sometimes. Okay. And I'm gonna zoom in, because this is my first time writing with a Sailor pen, and I did get this in the fine nib. I don't know if Sailor has extra fine nibs or not, but I got this one in the fine, which is fine by me. Wow. Interesting. This is so nice. Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine if there would be an extra fine or not. This site writes very nicely. My experience with fine points is that it's very thick. And you can kind of see that in the Esterbrook pen. That's a fine as well, but this is a fine in the Sailor. Wow. I really like how this writes. And this color is gorgeous. Okay. First impressions, I like how slim this is, obviously, because this is the Sailor Pro Gear fountain pen, and then this is the slim. And let me just take out my other pens to kind of show you guys. So I'm keeping currently all of my fountain pens in this little Smart Fit. I think this is, I don't know if it goes by size, but it's a Smart Fit pencil case. And I'm gonna leave this here. This is how it's looking so far. I just kind of have my ruler here, Coffee Monsters Co. Post-it note. I have the Coffee Monsters Co. Esterbrook collaboration pen. I have my TWSBI Eco, my vanishing point, and then obviously just because I carry this around a lot to journal, I have my Uniball Signo gel pen in 0.38. So just to kind of show you each pen type. I think I'm gonna move this just because this is for fountain pens only. My Sailor pen. Okay, so where should I even start? Maybe I should start writing, kind of show you all like quality. Okay, so far the feel of this, I really like this Sailor pen. I was very surprised with the fine point. I like how precise it writes. The ink flow is like perfect. It's not too thick, and very it's like a very controlled like flow, if that makes sense. I've had issues with fountain pens in the past and certain inks. So this was very nice. I really like this. This might be, I don't know, if this is very comfortable to hold. All right, so that's my Sailor fountain pen. Oh my god, this is so cute. I really love it. Okay, next is my Esterbrook fountain pen. This is a collaboration with the Coffee Monsters Co. This is my first Etsy pen, ST pen, and my first Esterbrook ever. And honestly, this would probably be my favorite pen so far. And I'm saying that because it's like, it fits so nicely in my hand and it's super comfortable to write with. And my favorite thing about this collab is this little emoji head on the nib. And I want to show you all what it basically writes like. I have like a bunch of samples over here. All right. So maybe I should have done it for my Sailor pen as well. So let's do... I'm trying to be organized. All right, so I'll do Esterbrook. So despite this being... No, this is an extra fine nib. What am I saying? Oh my god. I keep calling it a fine nib because it writes like a fine. This is an extra fine, guys. I promise you. And it says it right there. EF. Can you see that? EF. Okay. I'm like double checking. Yeah. Extra fine. What is the sentence? The quick brown fox jumps. The quick brown fox jumps. I don't know. I'm gonna write that just because. But anyways, this pen is an extra fine. I don't have any Esterbrook to compare to, because obviously this is my first one and probably my only one. I'm not gonna buy any. I said I wasn't gonna buy any more fountain pens, and that was completely a lie. But technically, I didn't buy the Sailor one. My husband did. So. Don't come for me. I don't know what the sentence is supposed to be, so whatever. But this is an extra fine, and I don't know if it's the ink, if it's just the pen itself, but it seems like Esterbrook is notorious for having a thicker extra fine. I don't know. Let me know if that has been the experience for everybody else, but I think, I don't want to say that's a downside because I don't hate that it writes a little thicker. Like, I don't mind. But yeah, the extra fine Esterbrook SD pen writes like a fine despite being extra fine. So you can imagine having a fine nib and it writes more like a medium, I'm assuming. But otherwise, this is like my favorite pen because of how comfortable it is to write and how smooth it is. And it's just like, it's not awkward in my hand. I've had is it the Safari fountain pen a long time ago, and it was just like very uncomfortable to write with. This next one is my TWSBI Eco Pen. This is my first fountain pen after the Safari one, which I don't even have anymore. This is a nightmare, by the way, to fill up just because the mechanism here is like super finicky and it pops out a lot. Otherwise, that's the only downside to this pen. But it writes like a true extra fine. Now that I'm thinking about it, it has this like scratchy element to it. But it kind of writes the same as the Sailor pen. But obviously there's a little like friction that you can feel. And I'm not sure if you can hear it. Hopefully not, because that means you can also hear me breathing behind this camera. Anyway, this one's an extra fine. It also is pretty like compact, not as compact as the Sailor Pro Gear Slim. Not awkward to write with at all. This is actually a pen I do like to write with. And it's a good beginner pen. I think this was like 50 or less, I want to say, depending on the type of design you get. So they have like some limited edition TWSBI Eco colors. Obviously, this is going to be more expensive. But if you get like a basic one, it's like pretty affordable. All right. And this one is my very first expensive fountain pen because I've heard great things about it. I have a love-hate relationship with the Pilot Vanishing Point, to be honest, just because I am an extra fine nib person. And yes, this writes like a very true extra fine. It is super scratchy, and I've tried to kind of offset that with a more wet ink. And yeah, I'm just going to show you all. So it's a Pilot Vanishing Point. And obviously I'm still having like issues trying to like hold it. So I'm going to start here, Pilot. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I struggle a lot with, I have a love-hate relationship with my Pilot Vanishing Point. This is a Decimo one, so the Decimo version. So, pros. I do love how slim it is. I love how sleek looking and beautiful it is. I like the clicking mechanism. It's super easy. My only issue is that I honestly love the extra fine point. However, in order to have this type of like thickness, you have to like sacrifice in terms of the overall like smoothness of the writing. So it's fine if I'm writing pretty slowly, but the type of smoothness I'm getting from the other pens where I can just write quickly without having to worry about my nib like somehow flexing a certain way and being stiff. I don't know if this is a common issue, but like if I'm writing with my Pilot Vanishing Point and the nib is like very stiff, like in a way where it like bends, I guess, and it flicks ink, and because I have to be very careful with how quickly I write, and if I write too quickly, it doesn't flow as smoothly, if that makes sense. And then I also had the issue when I first got my pen that it was super scratchy. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's like nails on a chalkboard kind of thing. So yes, I do like my Pilot Vanishing Point. And the one thing is I do have to write a lot more slowly with this one, or else it ends up doing something, getting stuck on the page, whatever. I don't know like exactly how to describe it, but I don't have that smoothness with other pens, and so these days I tend to not reach for it as often, which is such a shame because I love this pen. It's just the extra fineness. With the fine tip, I have a fine tip because I started with a fine tip and I didn't like how thick it was, so I switched to the extra fine. The fine tip is very, very thick. I don't like it. You have that buttery smooth writing, and it basically glides across the page with the fine, but honestly, it is so thick, I don't like it. And maybe it's just me not like properly finding the correct ink for that, but I just hesitate. So I've just kind of resigned myself to the extra fine, but knowing that I have to be extra careful and extra slow when writing with it. And I think that's it, right? No, my Sailor pen. I'll just show this one too. And so this one is an extra fine, and I'm just going to write with it. Yeah, so this one writes similar to the Eco, but a lot smoother. Honestly, this is very nice. I like this. This is a fine, yeah. Wow, that's pretty, like, impressive. Yeah, so this is a fine nib, and it writes very similarly to the Eco, which is crazy. I mean, yeah. Honestly, just being real here, I think if you're looking for like a beginner's fountain pen and you don't want to spend a ton of money, TWSBI Eco, you cannot go wrong with it. It seems like it's writing very similar to the Sailor pen. I think the only difference I would say is just because my TWSBI Eco pen, I don't know if this is like a universal thing or it's just me, but this mechanism is super like tricky in order to fill the converter with. Obviously, it's not bulky. This is just slim. It's more comfortable to write. It's equally comfortable. This one, you could just feel like a slight difference. I like the looks of the Sailor pens. They have great color collections. Obviously, it's a well-known brand, so I'm assuming that's why there's such like a huge price difference. But to be fair, like I said, if you're kind of venturing into fountain pens, I would say the TWSBI Eco would probably be your best bet. What would I say was worth the money? The Esterbrook SD pen for sure. Like I said, though, if you're an extra fine nib person, maybe I just haven't found the right ink yet. But it writes true to, it's an extra fine and writes like a fine. And then the Sailor Pro Gear Slim is like the opposite, where it's a fine, but seems like it writes similar to an extra fine. If you're a Vanishing Point, or if you are eyeing the Vanishing Point pen, and you are an extra fine nib person, stay away. I love having it. Oh my god, did I just like spit on the page? Oh my god. Anyways, I like produce a lot of spit. I'm sorry, that might be TMI. Anyways, but yeah, if you're an extra fine nib person and you're thinking about buying a Pilot Vanishing Point, I would say don't do it. Don't do it. But if you're a fine nib or like thicker, then yes, Pilot Vanishing Point is the way to go. But lately these days, I've been hesitating on grabbing this when writing and journaling just because it's super scratchy. And like I said, maybe I need to test out a bunch of different inks before like making that final decision. But so far, I've had it for, I want to say half a year, more than half a year, but less than a year. And I wish I would have like listened to all the advice about the scratchiness of the nib. But yeah, this is pretty much my collection, and yeah, just wanted to do like a quick pen test, some ink swatches. Obviously, I think once I start like rotating the inks, I'm going to fill up the swatch page. I don't want to fill my fountain pens and then flush it out just for the sake of swatching, so I'm just going to do it as I go. Sometimes I get tired of the colors, and so I'll rotate them. But yeah. I can't believe I like freaking spit. That's awful. I'm so sorry that you guys had to see that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and hope this helps.